Hello, friends and fellow board gamers. Welcome back to another episode of Board Games with Rob. Now, today I'm going to be giving you an overview and my thoughts and review of Doomlings, which is a fun little card game. And I want to thank Doomlings LLC. They're the ones who produce and publish. I'm sorry, the game. And it looks like over here on Board Game Geek, it's designed by Justice and Andrew Meyer, and it's they tout it as being somewhat of like a collectible card game, but in a all in a single box, right? It gives you that feeling of being able to combo and play different cards, and it does that. It's I'm kind of getting into my thoughts about the game. So let me explain how it plays first. Let's go down to the table here, and there's a bunch of different variety packs or versions of the game that you can go buy. This is the basic version, which gives you everything that you need to play the game. It's kind of got a shiny box, so it's really neat. They have what's neat. They've got foil cards in here too, which are really neat. But it's really simple. This game is so easy to learn, teach, and play. Everybody is going to start off with 5 cards, and I've got 5 cards here. Actually, I've got 6. Let me get rid of one of these. All right. They'll start out with 5 cards, and I'm holding them the wrong way. And I'll kind of get into what all the cards do here in a minute. But you all start out with a gene pool, and the gene pool starts out. Everybody starts out with 5, and as you gain or lose different um, as your gene pool grows or shrinks, you'll use this card to track that, and it's double sided. Um, and then you have what's called ages. And so at the very beginning of the game, you have the birth of life, and it's going to kind of talk about the setup of the game and what you'll be doing for that round. And a round is everybody playing a card. And so, yeah, it kind of tells you to set your gene pool at 5, and then everybody's going to play a card and then stabilize. And stabilize is simply bringing your hand size after you've played a card back up to your gene pool size. So the game plays over 3 rounds or 3 ages, where at the beginning of that age, um, or that round, at the beginning of a turn, you're going to draw an age card, right? And in the very beginning of the game, that's called the birth of life. So everybody will go through their cards, and you've got a bunch of different cards here. Like this one is -2 points, and I should say that the object of the game is to have the most points at the end of the game, at the end of those 3 rounds. So every card is going to intrinsically have its own value, its own point value, which is there in the bottom left of the card. In this case, it's -2, but then a lot of these cards are going to have an action. If you see there that A at the bottom of the card means that you're going to play an action. So this one would be return an opponent's trait to their hand, and then you could play another trait. So everybody has their own trait pool, which is your own collection of cards, right? So I would play this to my trait pool in front of me, and then I would follow the action and do what it says. So that would mean, like the card says, is returning somebody's trait card to their hand, and then I could play another card. So let's say that oh um let's say I play this green card. Now, it says it's swarm, and there's a little asterisk there in the point value, and it says its value is equal to the number of other swarm cards in all trait piles, including this one. So there's going to be a variety of different trait cards in there that in the deck that people will pull and be playing into their own pile, and that one would be worth the amount of cards in everybody's straight pile. So, over time, your hand's going to come down. At the end of my turn, then, like the age card says, I would stabilize. I would bring my hand back to 5 in this case. So I would draw 2 cards, and then you'd go through. Everybody would take their turn, and then you would come back to the age deck and then reveal the next age. So in this case, this gives you kind of a new rule to play for that round, and this is arid land. So players cannot play blue traits. So I would luck out because I don't have any blue traits in my hand. So, I would play another card. So I may play this. This one is teeth. +1 to my gene pool, and it's worth a point. So I would play this, and then I would get to be able to turn my gene pool up to 6. So now when I stabilize, I would be able to draw 2 cards to my hand, bringing it up to 6 cards. And then everybody would get another turn and then draw another age card. In this case, this says discard 1 card from your hand at random. So I would, start my hand and or my turn, and I would maybe shuffle my cards and have to discard a card. Everybody, there's a common discard pile that you'll have, and then I would play my next card. Now there are things called dominant traits, and you can only have one of those in your trait pile, or maybe it's two. I'll have to I will correct the video when I display this. But these are super powerful cards, and this one's worth 4, and this says something about the catastrophe, which I will talk about that here in a minute. So then we would each take a turn, and then we would do another trait. Now look here, I have drawn my first catastrophe. And I should say that what you will do is you will draw 3 piles of 3 cards of these age cards, and then you will take 3 catastrophe cards and shuffle 1 into each of those 3 piles, and then shuffle each those piles, and then stack them to make the age deck. So that's why I say it's 3 rounds, and within each round you'll have a catastrophe card, and that will trigger the end of the first round. And so it will have usually a negative effect in here. So as you can see, it's -1 to the gene pool, discard all but 1 from your hand. Oh my goodness. That would not only would you be lowering your gene pool, but you'd have to discard everything but one card into that discard pile, and starting off with 1 card. Now notice there's a world's end effect down there. That's on every single catastrophe card, but you ignore that on the first 2 catastrophes. The third catastrophe that you will pull be the world's end, and rather than looking at the top effect there, you will do the world's end uh, text at that point. So that would be world's end. You would switch the first player token to the next player, and then you just start playing your hand again. So in this case, I kept 1 card, and so I would play a card, and it just says, oh, well, I would, we draw the next stage card, and then I would play that card to my trait pile, and then I would draw up to 5 cards now. Thank goodness, because I was only down to 1 before, and now I have, oh, look at that, big ears. Now, who does that look like? But yeah, you'll go through this until you've revealed, like I said, that third catastrophe card, and then that will trigger the end of the game and give you an end game action that you have to take into effect. And then all you do is you go through all your cards and you count up all the points, and if there's any um, World's End cards that have some end of game scoring, you would take that into account. If you had cards like this, the Swarm, where you have to total up all the Swarm cards in everybody's hand or trait pile, you'd figure that out. And then simply whoever has the most points wins the game. So, folks, that's how you play Doomlings. And boy, it's funny because I saw this on the shelf, whenever I'm at like Walmart or Target or some of those mass market game stores that carry games, I would see this on the shelf. And I see this along other games that are similar in weight, right? A lot of those, what I would call mass market games. And, I wasn't, it wasn't something that I gravitated to. Well, Doomlings reached out to me actually and sent me a copy, wanted to know if I would take a look at the game. And I've got a large family, as many of you that know me know. I've got 9 kids, and so I thought, yeah, this is a family weight card game. I'd love to try it. Well, I'll give a shout out and see what it's like. And so yes, I will say I do have a review. They sent me a review copy. They're not paying me for this video. I only got a review copy, so take that into consideration. But I really like the game, and so do my the kids I've played it with. it's weightier and thinkier more than you would imagine, with just the choice of playing one of your five cards. And that's because I think the designers did a really good job with in the interactions of how all these cards work together and the possibilities, with, like that one card that, I think it was Swarm, where it counts all the different cards in everybody's trait pile, and this whole thing with the gene pool, and increasing or decreasing the amount of cards that you can have. And there's a lot of tiny little expansions out there, I should say, that I haven't played with yet. Some that interact with your gene pool, some that add items, trinkets that you can add to the game. But at its core, this game is really good. I would rate this at an 8, and that's pretty high, especially for, like, and I keep using that term, a mass market game. But this is one that I can just set up real quickly, and it's a very simple teach. It's a simple game. I don't know why I like this so much. I have played similar games that just fall flat, and it's something maybe the kids will like, and I just get through it, I put it away, and I've had more of a good experience because of the time I had spent with my children, not because of the game. With Doomlings, I'm actually having fun playing the game, and there's a lot of laughter going on, and there's some take that, but it's light take that, and it's spattered out throughout the game, and um, it's just really fun. So if you're looking for, an inexpensive, a great time, a fun game for kids and adults alike, it's a light filler game. It's not something that you would just have be playing this all night, but it's definitely one, in between games, or something that I'd want to get out, or definitely something with the kids that's going to give you a very good time. So yeah, that's Doomlings. I want to thank you all for watching this video. If you have any thoughts about it, or you've played it, put a comment down, talk about it. Let me hear some of the maybe some of the expansions you've played, or some of the experiences you've had with adults. I haven't had a chance to play this with just pure adults yet. It's just been with my children. I am having a game night actually this week, and I'm going to feature this game in front of my game group. So I'll know more when I hit this up. But it's definitely one I think you should have in your collection. Folks, thank you for tuning in, and have fun gaming. Bye.